I just want to say this one thing, and I really hope that even if you can't accept it right now, what you think about it, hopefully maybe one day um, your journey will take you there. Apart from love and compassion, there is no solution for our problems. Okay? That is on a personal level, that if I want to heal, and when I say on a personal level, I mean all sorts of problems that we have. From our anxiety, from our stress, from our depression, from our anger, from our addiction, from masturbation, from pornography, from attachment to your partner, from not being able to speak your truth, from taking care of people so that they wouldn't leave you, from not being able to show love to your partner, from closing down in a conflict, from not being able to, assert yourself. Every single problem that we have, when you go to the root of it, you realize is because of being distanced from ourselves. At some point, we distanced ourselves, we distracted ourselves from our pain or something, we abandoned ourselves, and as we did that, we lost certain things. One of the things, for example, we've lost is this love, this unconditional love, which every human being has inside themselves. And that's because of them being a ruh created by God, their connection they have to God, right? And as a result of the spiritual healing journey, you will reach a place where you're sitting there on your own and you feel loved. You feel so much love. You feel so much self-worth. And at that point, even when you come into a relationship, it's not to seek love, it's to share love. Right? When two people come into a relationship to seek love, all sorts of problems happen. Because if one day you don't pay attention to me, I'm not getting my daily dose of love. So I'm going to do all sorts of controlling things to make sure you love me. But once a person heals themselves, finds this love, this inner love, which every single human being has, unconditional love inside themselves, even when no one's around, then two people come into a relationship not to get love, but to share the love. Right? So even on a personal level, the reason for all sorts of problems we have is we've lost this connection to ourselves, and that is where all this love is. So we don't feel worthy. We need to seek approval outside. We need to do this. And of course, there's no shame in it, right? There's no shame. We all do that. Beautiful. We're beautiful. We didn't know. We're learning. We'll get there, right? But anyways, the answer is love. Now, this is on a personal level, but even on a global level, the answer is love. Okay? Fortunately, a lot of the times, the way we look at the problems of the world is bad people, good people. If we get rid of the bad people, the world would be fine, right? Which is never the solution. The only solution is love. Because in the same way that you can't fix yourself if you blame yourself, you can't fix the world if you blame people. The only healing force in the world is love, right? And I think we spoke about this more in the Love is Nature series. And when you even look at the life of the prophet, you see that even for people that others considered prophets enemies, he had love. Right? There is no other way. If you want more about this, watch our video about this. Love is our nature. And there I explained that the only prescription that will work for our personal levels and global problems is love. Right? And let us practice this first on ourselves. Let us find the love for ourselves that can help us get rid of our anxiety or depression, all sorts of things. Then when we go outside, we can apply all sorts of those outside as well. We look at people not as evil people, but as people who have abandoned themselves from their true self, right? Once you learn this with yourself, that at their core, every person is beautiful. No one can damage their worth, their true self, because their true self is given by God. There is nothing you can do to hurt yourself. Nothing. You can distance yourself from your true self and because of that suffer, but nothing you do will damage your true self because your true self is God-given. And that's why you are always worthy of unconditional love. Because what you are is a beautiful soul created by a beautiful God, and nothing can change do that, no matter what you do. That's why I said guilt a lot of the times is wrong, because we think if I make a mistake, I'm bad. You can never be bad. You're created by God. You're beautiful. Do whatever you want. That won't change. The only outcome our bad actions have is that they distance us from feeling our true self, so we suffer because we don't see this unconditional love that we have always. Once you feel this about yourself, then you realize, oh, hang on a second, every single other person is like that as well. There is no evil people out there. There are people who are doing bad things, right? Because every single person in this world is created by the same God, and they're created in the same beautiful way. Nafakhtu fihi min ruhi. God has blew into every single person from his own spirit. Nafakhtu fihi min ruhi. Right? And then your whole approach to the world changes. You realize, oh, hating doesn't help. Because in the same way that we said, if you want to heal yourself, what was the step 2? Love and compassion, right? If that's the way for me to heal myself, what is my way to heal others, to help others? Love. Right? The only prescription, in my opinion, Prophet brought is love. That's why you see, as we mentioned in the other session, after one of the battles where they've killed the other side, killed a lot of people on Prophet's camp, everyone comes to the Prophet and they're like, why don't you curse them? He says, how can I curse them? They're my ummah. Even though in our understanding they weren't Prophet's ummah. They were the bad people from that side. They came and they killed this side. But first, no, they just don't know. They just don't know. These were Prophet's words. I'm not going to curse them. I'm going to pray for them because they don't know. In the same way that the reason you and I get anxious, you and I don't know our self-worth is that we don't know. We didn't know our self-worth. We didn't know how much love we have inside us, how much God loves us. So we went around seeking that love outside. We became addicted to things. We became angry. We became attached to people. Not because we're bad. Not at all. Just because we didn't know. And others don't know either. Right? So the only solution is love. And it's very beautiful. And as much as we get away from this understanding of religion, I don't think whatever we do in this world would be impactful, right? If in our religion, God is not loving, a person is not unconditionally worthy of love, and the solution to solve the problem is not love, that is not really religion. That doesn't have the impact, that doesn't have the power to change and heal, right? So in this view, you no longer look at the world in terms of good people and bad people. There are only good, beautiful souls created by God who don't have maybe access to that. And the only way to help people have access to their true self is through love.